You know what gave me a tip off of that, Julie? I was looking at Essence magazine, and they actually had an article explaining to women, particularly women of color, why Obamacare was so negatively in the headlines. And I thought, wow, that hit a bullseye somewhere.
It must have. You know, I actually am going to, I'm curious to see whether this theory is going to be proven right. I'm looking at Florida and specifically Nevada to see if I'm going to be right tomorrow morning or not. I think the biggest controversy of this 2016 campaign was when Donald Trump came down that escalator and started talking disparagingly about building walls and Latinos. And the reason I say that is because the white vote, I think, at the end is going to be a wash. Whatever he makes up, she makes up with college-educated white women, he's going to offset with a higher turnout among non-college-educated white men. So I think the white vote's ultimately going to probably be roughly the same as Romney Obama was in 2012. What I think is interesting is the turnout in places like Florida and places like Clark County, Nevada, that are going to potentially, among Latinos, that are going to potentially steer those two states towards her column, and whether that is going to signify that his campaign essentially ended the day he began when he came down that escalator a year and a half ago.
But you have to concede that illegal immigration has become a pretty big issue from the beginning.
No question. But I'm just saying, I wonder if his rhetorical stance against or about Latinos, however you want to address legal immigration, whether that is something that's going to ultimately tip places like Nevada and Florida in her favor, and whether Latinos will make the difference in those two states. Because my understanding is even the non-party affiliated voters that you have coming out in places like Florida with early voting tended to be more Latino than they anticipated, and what that means for this election start tomorrow morning.